Today, I want to talk to those of you that have found themselves at a low point in life. To those of you that were at one point in time running towards something in pursuit of something, and life hit you with something that made you want to stop running toward it. Beat you down so low you no longer want to even move. Jogging, walking, or even crawling toward it. Because that will require you to leave your place of comfort. The place you've grown to know so well. The place that if you leave once again, you open yourself up to the opportunity of failure again. It's almost as if you've forgotten that when you open yourself up to the opportunity of failure, that you also open yourself up to the amount of success that lies out of your comfort zone. I'm talking to those of you at the low point that feel stuck there. That feel like no matter what you do or how you move, you still find yourself back in the same low place you started. But before you let go of all hope that things can't change, understand that a change outwardly is coming based on the change that happens inwardly. See, you've allowed that low place to define you for too long now. And you've not realized that your low level of thinking has you stuck in that low place. Your low level of faith in the Most High God we serve is what has got you stuck at a low level, and it's by choice. Something has got to change because God has intention behind you being in that low dimension. But do you trust Him enough to know He is building you into a king or a queen before He places you in position over the whole kingdom? For I know that there are those of you with a nagging feeling that you were created for more, and it's because indeed you are. It's time you realize that your low place you have gotten too comfortable in is not a place you belong. See, the problem is that a majority dislike the low point, but do not dislike it enough to change it. And before you can change it, I need you to hate it. I need you to hate the place and hate the thoughts and actions that got you there. And move away from the people that are not pushing you out of that place. See, because a lot of y'all hate the place, but don't hate it more than you like to do the things that got you stuck there. Not more than you like thinking the thoughts that indeed have you confined to prevent you from the place that you were designed to be. Overall, because that low place over time is comfortable. It's almost as if you fail to realize what's on the other side of what's uncomfortable. It's almost as if you don't expect to have to go through what you don't want in order to get to the place that God wants you to be. I hear it all the time. I hate to see my mama struggle. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being here. I hate it in this place. I hate losing. Meanwhile, God is just looking down like, of course you're tired of doing it. I didn't create you to do it. Of course you're tired of that place. I didn't create you to stay in it. The problem is you just don't seem to want to leave it. Of course you're tired of seeing these circumstances. I created you to change it. See, has anybody ever found themselves in a place where they know they didn't belong? That place where you know it's below where your talents and abilities should happen. That level nowhere near where God has intended you to be, but your decisions have placed you there anyway. And at some point you have to ask yourself the hard question of what are you doing there? At some point you have to come to your senses and realize that you're out of position. Just as the prodigal son once came to his senses and realized he was starving, yet he had servants that had food to spare. So I'm gonna need for you to realize that you were created to eat like a king and not starve with the peasants. You were designed for a position in the kingdom, so why are you dwelling outside of it? You are too strong to be surrounded by weak-minded people. God has created you to be too great to be surrounded by average. Overall, change the way you think so that you can change who you are, and God can change where you are. God's miracles are always going to require your participation. So you need to make the mental shift before God can manifest the physical shift. You need to make a mental transition before God can transition you into the next phase of your life. You gotta hate average before you start operating above average. And understand before you make the shift over to the high level that God had to build you at the low level so that you would hate it enough to move out of it. So that you would hate it enough to not go back to it. Get up and become the person that God has created you to be so He can move you to the place and position that few eyes have been able to see.